Welcome back to Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, anime review episode number 16. This I'm viewing the 21st episode of the series, Common Sense. Everybody is out of sync. Now this episode does adapt from chapters 41 and 61. Yes, which means as of this episode, they're getting kind of close to saying they pretty much have almost gone through the first 50 chapters. Getting close to it, definitely. Now, the way this segment is basically put out, they put 61 first. 61 is focused on Fafnir and Lukua. Basically, Fafnir asks Lukua to basically does do something like he's like, I'm kind of busy, and of course he runs away. They actually made a little joke about this in the anime, where he's like far away in the manga. He just partially basically where they kind of like far away here in the manga. He's basically very close. So basically, Fafnir takes Lukua to his apartment, where he's like, I want you to monitor me for my manga, because there is a sort of a dungeon, I think it's how you pronounce it, a sale for that. Basically, almost kind of like a mini, almost like the way to describe it, it's almost like it's like the comic kit event they had in season 1. And they probably figured, though, at this point, they probably should have another one. Like, okay, is there something similar to what we had that last season? Like, oh yeah, we have this. Except it's a small scale one. It's mostly like a big book sale. Mostly put, it kind of reminds me of the smaller cons here. It kind of reminds me of possibly like the Central Park Comic Con I went to this year. That's what it kind of reminds me of. And, of course, it's about curses, and, of course, posing for him. And, of course, his roommate is making a book too, and Luke says, "Hey, can I sell my book too?" And what was it, like cosplay pictures? Yes, cosplay pictures, which is so hilarious. And I thought this was so funny. Like the first show of Fafnir's roommate, his book is completely sold out. Lukua, of course, Fafnir thought that her stuff would not sell out, and it did. It sold out because it's basically a bunch of her in cosplay pictures, which I think is so hilarious. And as for Fafnir, he sold nothing. And she's like, "Hey, since I did some work for that, can I get a copy?" It's like, I'm not giving it to you. I mail it to your house. And it's Sota. Yeah, and they mentioned about Sota basically. And the thing is, I think the kid in Fafnir's manga is basically, like, appearance-wise looks exactly like Sota. How about curses, whatever. How about being vulgar. And then we have a little bit afterwards where little bonus little segments here where Sota's coming home presumably from school, and like he comes home and he finds Lukua's cosplay book sitting on his desk. Yep, yes it does. And he's like too vulgar, he tossed up in the air, and Lukua's like, oh no. He also does this weird thing where when she's like doing the curse thing, she looks like she's coming apart, and her hat comes off, which is kind of odd for her because her hat has never been removed in this series. Yeah, but that's the segment for you. The second segment is coming chapter 41. This one is mostly a lot of artistic changes. Yes, because in the manga, now we have Toru going into Kobayashi's room. Now in the manga, basically the where the bed is set, it's basically like, here's the door, and you open the door, there's Kobayashi's bed. And in the manga, it's like kind of off in the corner, leaning against the wall, while in the anime, it's like dead in the middle. It's like dead center. And we do see Kana and Alicia, where they're basically sitting next to the bed. And this whole thing is about sleep. And of course, well, Kobayashi thinks she's going to be late, but Toru's like, no, it's your day off. So instead of basically just getting up and just doing something on her day off, she just basically sleeps all day. Yeah, seriously. She sleeps like freaking like noon. Like, I do that occasionally. I do something like that, except that I actually get up out of bed, have my breakfast, and then go back to sleep. That's my routine when I have my days off. Provided the fact I'm not going to the place on my day off, like I'm going to the dentist or Comic-Con or something else. That's my routine. Basically, get up, breakfast, and then go back to sleep for like an hour and a half. That's just my routine because well, I mean, I get sleep during the night, so I basically get some extra sleep in there. That just, I've been doing it for years. So, pretty much we have Toro basically, like, when she goes shopping, runs Enna, because of course she does, and talk about getting used to the lifestyle. Oh yeah, in fact, the Enna basically has got sweets. So, we have where she stays up late, and of course, apparently Kobayashi couldn't sleep because she slept most of the day. And then, of course, the segment ends with her next day, where Kobayashi's like, "I'm way late. Her alarm clock says 9 o'clock. It's not like it's 10 or 11 o'clock." Yep, that segment ends. Now that those two segments are from the manga. The last segment is not from the manga. It's the second episode in a row where we have an anime original thing for Kana to do. Now, I should point out though for the studio who makes a series, excuse me, studio, you do know there is a kind of spin-off manga. You could adapt from that. You've done it once before in one of the episodes. You can basically take one of the chapters from that manga, aside from chapter 12, because you did it for episode 17, and you could at least adapt it for like a bonus segment. Yeah, I get the fact you like to have 3 seconds per episode. I mean, are you running out of material to adapt? I don't know. It seems like it. Mm-hmm. Yes, it kind of seems like they're almost running out of material to adapt, per se. Yes. Now, yes, they have pretty much gotten through the first 41 chapters of the manga right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first 41. Next week, basically, will make up to about 48. I'm looking at, do they have 49? I'm just trying to check here, see if they have. No, 49 just yet. I think like 49 is like the only chapter they haven't adapted yet. Here's one. Mm-hmm. Yep. So this one is basically Kana and her friends, along with Sakawa, where basically from a newspaper and they want to basically just investigate, well, ghosts. And they have a segment where they go investigate some ghosts, and it turns out the ghost is looking for is actually a fairy. Yes, Kana knows what it is because she's from that world. And I'm thinking, though, like, okay, you have Luca who go by portals, but Kobayashi, no, Kobayashi, Toru can too. I'm not sure why Luca had to be the one to basically do this. This makes no freaking sense. And apparently she's basically barely struggling to open up a single portal, sends fire back through. It's a nice slow segment, and the thing ends basically with the next segment, investigate space. And that kind of sets up basically tease for next week, where potentially they're going to investigate Area 51, which I thought that was kind of weird. Yeah. Now, overall, there is roughly about 6 more episodes left to air for the season. Yes. Now, why do I figure 6 episodes? Because the first season also had 13 episodes. Yep. Yes, it did. So, yeah. So that's particularly it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my review for Drugstore in Another World. Yep, that will be next. And then, well, I think I might have time to do it. It'll be Shaman King. Now, as for if I get a chance to do more One Piece today, I'll probably do more One Piece tomorrow. Okay? Next video. Bye.